Let me talk a little bit about dimensions. Let's start with a simple line. A line is the first dimension. Now let's place another axis point on that line, and now we can measure those 2 points of intersection and finish them out in mirror form. Now we have a square, or any other form. We measure that in area. The next form would be to pop that out with a z-axis so that we can see the third dimension of that cube now. So the square turns into a cube. But the next form after that would actually be a cube that would rotate. Now, we think about a cube as the third dimension, but it's stationary. In order for us to experience life, all life is in motion. Therefore, we have to accept and understand that we live in the fourth dimension, where the fourth dimension is the axis of motion. We measure motion through time. The next dimension is simply an expansion of time. We see time as a linear one-way street function. But the principles of music and physics would point to the fact that all dimensions of time exist simultaneously. And if that is so, then the next experience for us as a higher dimension, as we push the boundary of the persistence of our own perception, will be to experience different dimensions happening simultaneously of time itself. And we call that the fifth dimension. And we can look at this as a musical relationship as well. In fact, we can say that the first dimension could be measured as the number 6. 6, then of course we could take it to the next dimension, that it would go 6 squared. So 6 squared would be 36. And we can also add a simple 0 to that, which makes it 360. Immediately we think of the 360 degrees of a circle. Then the next level is going to be to take that to the next power. 6 to the third power equals 216. We can add a 0 to that, and interestingly, it turns out to be the form of a cube, because the sum of angles of a cube is 2,160 degrees. Now we take that to the next level, we get 1,296. Isn't that number another number that shows up somewhere else? In fact, it is. It shows up in the compass. A compass has 1,296,000 seconds. Does that then mean that a compass is actually the best reference for measuring time? Time and space are inseparable. Maybe our experience with time now must also expand to the next level. Because if we took it to the next power, again, by adding those zeros to it, it goes 1296, which was 6 to the fourth power. 6 to the fifth power becomes 7,776. Does that mean now that we have more volume with which to measure a hypercube in motion that is no longer in one direction, but can go multiple directions? As we contemplate these very deep questions, we have to ask ourselves, who is the conductor behind this beautiful symphony that's happening all around us every single day of our entire lives? Most times we don't even notice what's happening around us and think about all the things we miss out on. But as we learn the language of universal consciousness, which is a language based on music and light mixed with dark, we can actually see the creation all around us in every single moment of our experience. When we do that, we start to feel at one.